Hey,
Hey,
we're here.
we're here.
Hi, I gotta go, but I at least wanted to just real quick say, so we're Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, we saw
Spider-Man.
last night. Yeah.
I wore my fancy Spider-Man colored Christmas sweater for this real quick. Guys, yes, this is my take on it. I freaking loved it. It was amazing. It was super amazing. I was giddy like a little kid the whole time. I felt like I was watching the end scene. I know this is saying a lot. I felt like I was watching the end scene of Avengers Endgame for like 2 hours. It's just fan service after fan service. It was fantastic. They cleared up so much stuff. They answered a lot of questions, and they put us right where we want to be. And I'm not going to steal any more thunder, but these guys are going to talk about it. I absolutely loved it. I got to go because I'm going to see it again right now.
Wow.
With some other friends. So yeah, it rocks. It's fantastic. These guys will give you some more. The first part will be non-spoilery, and then let's say like, okay, full warning, spoilers about to start. Matthias, if you could put a break in there that says like a time hack that says spoilers start now, and they're gonna spoil the shit out of it for you. So it was awesome. I loved it. Yeah. So see you guys later.
Okay. See you.
All right.
Thanks, Shawn.
All right. So here we are. So Kyle, the Spider-Man films thus far with Senior Holland.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts so far on the series right now?
Not my favorite.
Mhm.
I liked his introduction in Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
When he came in Civil War, I thought it was fun. It was nice. The levity and the seriousness of that movie, I thought it fit well. I think he's a great Peter Parker. I like his Peter Parker. Spider-Man, at this point, this is the third movie. Fourth, if you include Civil War, this will be the fourth.
Well, and the Avengers movies.
And the Avengers movies. It's like, okay. It's at this point now where I'm like, he needs to grow up a little bit.
Mhm.
At this point, it's kind of like, okay, what's next? He seems to be just doing the same shtick over and over again. So that's kind of where I'm. What's your take on Human Spider?
Like you, they haven't been my favorites either. And to be honest with you, I would put the Tobey Maguire. It's then Andrew Garfield, and then Tom Holland movies. And him as Spider-Man.
Wow, so you're
Yeah.
putting Andrew Garfield above him?
Yes, I am.
Oh.
Yeah, just the film. I've only seen the Tom Holland movies, I think once, both
Same.
of them once, and I have had no urge to go back to see them outside of the Michael Keaton scene in the very first film when they're driving in the car to the prom.
Oh yeah.
The homecoming dance.
Yep.
And he has that talk with him. I'm like, that is arguably one of the best scenes out of all the Spider-Man films.
And you say that because Michael Keaton
Yeah,
steals
it's Michael Keaton,
that.
he steals that scene. It's just
Yeah.
happens to be a good actor, pulling
Acting.
acting. Yes, yeah, inside a crap movie. So,
Yeah.
so because of this film, I kept my expectations low.
Mhm.
But you had high expectations.
I did.
Mhm.
Not because I was spoiled about what was going to happen in the movie. It's
Mhm.
like everyone kind of knew what was going to happen in this movie, even if you went in spoiler free, you kind of knew. You heard some inklings about what could possibly happen in the movie, so it's that.
But it wasn't
It
official.
wasn't official.
Yeah.
I had high expectations in the fact that I had a feeling at this point with what's going on in the Marvel universe, it's like, okay, he's going to have to really step up. If not, then I don't know what's going to happen.
and
Spider-Man will bring in Miles Morales instead of him. So
I agree, because it's more or less been the Disney Channel version of Spider-Man, where there's been roughly no consequences and it's
no
just
character growth.
none. Yeah.
Nothing. He's had everything handed to him pretty much.
Yeah, Disney Channel for kids version of Spider-Man. Just
Yeah, it's like, and even in Infinity War / Endgame, like he got snapped out. It wasn't like he had to live with the fact that he was around with everybody gone. So there was no character growth there they could have given him. It was like, nah, he was gone.
Yep.
And now he's back. So even with the snap, it didn't help his character. So
now let's talk about Tom Holland as Spider-Man. What are your thoughts of Tom Holland as Spider-Man?
I don't like his Spider-Man. I like more of his Peter Parker than I like his Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield, I felt, was a very good Spider-Man.
Yes.
I hated his Peter Parker.
Yeah, he was not Peter Parker. At
He
all.
wasn't. And Tobey Maguire, same thing. I liked his Peter Parker. I did not necessarily care for his Spider-Man as much. Granted, that was 2002, different world, different time, different age.
Almost 20 years ago.
Almost 20 years ago. Yeah, I was right in that wheelhouse. I was 13 when that came out. So, yeah, I was supposed to, and I did love it, obviously. But, yeah, I feel like his Peter Parker is good. His Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'll say, for me, Tom, he's a mixed bag, because there are moments where I do like his Spider-Man, there are moments where I don't.
Yeah.
There are moments where I like his Peter, and there are moments where I don't. And it's really been an inconsistent take on Peter and Spider-Man.
Yeah, I feel like it's different almost every movie, every time. It's just got, I like parts of it. Yeah, I can agree with that.
So going into this film, we were
Mixed bag.
Yeah, very mixed bag going into this film. So but to reiterate, I kept my expectations low. Hal kept his high. Now let's get into the spoilers.
Okay,
we're talking about the film. Spoiler time. All right, Dias, we good? All right, spoiler time, guys. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. All right, let's talk about the strengths of the movie, Kyle. What were the strengths of this film?
This movie, the strength, I think, was the whole of the movie. The wholeness. There's that phrase, "The whole is greater than the sum of its parts." I feel like that's kind of sums up this movie. If you were to break it down and go from this movie scene by scene, you're going to pick apart this movie easily. There are potholes you can drive a dump truck through. So, but if you look at the entirety of this movie, it's a good movie. I liked this movie. I would recommend this movie. It's probably the only Spider-Man movie, solo Spider-Man movie, that I would recommend. And it's because of the wholeness of it. I think the best part of this movie was, unfortunately, it's relying too much on nostalgia. But that's but
it just goes to show you how powerful those actors are and how powerful those roles were. And for me, I would say, there are moments in this film that take me out of it, like the Zendaya character, whatever, and some of the jokey jokes, but it brings me right back in with with a lot of the drama, the action scenes, the deaths, and everything. And you got me right back. Yeah. And to me, I would say some of the strengths. I would say for me, it's Willem Dafoe.
He steals this movie.
Willem Dafoe, to me, is the strongest part of this film,
100%.
and he is fantastic in this. And what they do with him as Green Goblin is the best decision they've made throughout the last 20 some odd years. Get rid of that damn mask. Just have him with that face. Give him a purple hood. The green. It's that's the Green Goblin.
That's Green Goblin.
That is Green Goblin, and I want that flipping statue. That is a badass Green Goblin. Yep. And he is a straight up ass kicking, menace.
Oh yeah.
He beats the crap out of Peter in this film. It is amazing. I loved it.
Yeah. And he kills.
He's not afraid to kill.
He kills.
Yeah.
And that's great. And you finally see Peter actually struggle.
Yes,
in this.
Absolutely. That's a great thing. Yeah, there's another strength. Yeah. Peter actually struggles in this film.
Big time. Yeah, I know we're in spoilers, but with Aunt May dying, finally, it's okay, something actually happens now.
There's a consequence.
Yeah, and he has to live with it. And the really heartfelt scene when you get Toby and Andrew, them describing who died in their universe, it's then they can all kind of come together and fully kind of bond with that, and they're able to work through it. I think it's great. That was a really strong part of this movie.
I agree, and I loved a lot of the close quarter combat action scenes in this. Just some of the choreography of the fighting. Those close, Willem Dafoe and him just going at it in that. It's oh man. Yeah, they're doing some full-on UFC moves in this, which is great.
Yeah,
Loved
it's
it.
It brought up like the Daredevil series on Netflix.
Yeah.
And seeing these close
Oh,
quarters.
speaking of which, he's in this film. He's in it.
He's in it. So
Yeah.
But I did like the camera work. I thought the cinematography did a lot of like long takes, and especially in the first, the opening.
Yes.
Really long takes, which is great. I love seeing that.
Because it picks up right when that second film ends.
Literally, right when it ends. There are some plot contrivances. I don't know if I like or hate Doctor Strange in this movie.
Well, he has one moment. It's the one moment I don't like him is that he says Scooby Doo. I still to this day, if you're watching this, can someone explain to me what Scooby Doo this crap means? I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
I don't know.
Does it mean take off the mask to unveil Old Man Withers?
Or to work together to solve a problem?
I don't know. I don't get it.
And why would kids of that generation understand what that meant?
Yeah.
You're talking to Xenia. It's like kids didn't watch Scooby Doo.
Yeah, do they even know what Scooby Doo is?
I wouldn't think so.
And then they know what TikTok is.
And then you get Zendaya with her.
Yeah, and so we're going to talk about the weak parts.
Yeah.
I would say Zendaya is still the weak part of the film.
She's horrible.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell. You can clearly tell they got feedback on her character and they wanted her to dial it back.
I mean, it's nothing but resting bitch face.
Yes.
It's like, who would like this person? Who? What guy would be like, oh, I want to go after her because she hates everything and has resting bitch face and looks like she hasn't showered in a month. It's like, is that a thing now?
Yes.
I don't know.
It's a thing with the kids now.
It might be, and people are going to like her or not like her, obviously. It's like, it's going to be one of those things. You either like her or you don't. Same with the jokey jokes. You're either going to like the jokey jokes or you're not going to like the jokey jokes.
Yeah.
And but this film does it in a way that I didn't like them, and I did not like. It's like I thought it was okay. There were times where I'm like, okay, you didn't need that, but it brought me back.
But they had moments where they would draw you out, push you out, and then pull you right back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ned leads that actor. I don't like him.
He's pointless.
He really is pointless.
Yeah. Well, and what brings up another great point at the end of this film. Peter is effectively where he should be.
Yes.
In comics, movies, everything, he's effectively where he should be, living on his own in a shithole apartment and sewing his own costume.
May or may not be able to pay his rent.
Yeah, and he is his own man in the chair. He doesn't need a nerd telling him what to do. Telling him that fat nerd telling him, "You go this way, go this way." No, he's Peter. He's a genius. He doesn't need him.
Yeah, and there are things where I like the little subtlety things, like him getting his GED.
Yes, that's a great point.
Yeah.
At the very end, because at the end of this film, he does it so no one remembers who Peter Parker is in history. No one knows who he is at all. There's no record of him at all.
Nope.
So.
Yeah, he wouldn't be at school.
Yep.
He wouldn't be enrolled in school. So and he never graduated because the blip.
Yep. He never graduated. So he's moved into that apartment. He's got the GED manual. It's like, he's got to get his GED. And that moment when he's at Aunt May's grave and Happy Chevy shows up. He doesn't remember him. Yeah, it's great.
I know. It's like it just tugs at your heartstrings again.
Yeah.
It's like after she dies. It's not only that, no one knows who you are. It's like, oh God. I mean, there are parts. It's sad, and Tom Holland does act very well.
Mm-hmm.
He does a very good job in this film. I thought this is his probably best performance as Spider-Man and Peter Parker.
And I would say one of the weak parts for me, visually speaking, at the end, the final fight with everything, it's too dark. It's kind of it's too difficult to tell who's who. Yes, because all three of them are there on the scene, fighting all different villains, and they're all swinging all over the place, and you can't really tell who's who unless you really get a good look at their mask.
That's what the only distinguishing effect is. I think some of the villains weren't necessary.
Yeah, clearly Lizard wasn't necessary.
Lizard wasn't necessary. Sandman wasn't necessary. Those were two that they just kind of threw in here because they had to.
Hey, Sinister Six type thing, why not?
We got to bring them in because we don't have anybody. Bring in Rhino. He was in the movie for all of 30 seconds. And so yeah, some of the villains didn't get, I think, their due. They relied heavily on Goblin and Dr. Octopus.
Well, and I was nervous at first. In the trailer, they're laughing at Doc Ock. And I'm like, no, that is not right. That is not cool. I hate it. But it was just that one scene.
That was it.
Yeah.
They weren't continuing to snicker at him and make fun of him.
Yeah.
But again, like, that's the big difference between Sam Raimi's Spider-Man world and Marvel. Literally, that scene separates those two. Like, if you were to say, what's the difference between Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Marvel Cinematic Universe? That scene right there. Because they act like Otto Octavius is just a name in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man universe. They don't care. It's just, okay.
Yeah.
In this one, they're laughing and snickering and making fun of him.
Yeah. It's taken seriously.
Yeah.
It's a point of fact. And, Sam Raimi universe here.
Yeah. So that pretty much does a good job. So yeah, I liked Alfred Molina. I thought he was great
Yes, he was.
as Dr. Octopus. I thought it was better than his Spider-Man 2 performance, which, shocking revelation, I'm not a big fan of that movie. And I know I'm the only nerd that doesn't like that movie and think it's the greatest superhero movie out there. And I know everyone does, but I'm not a fan. But he does much better in this movie than I think.
Yeah, and like I said, Willem Dafoe. He is terrific in this. He does steal this film. It is amazing. It gives the Green Goblin his due. And Jamie Foxx, he is better in this than he was in the Amazing Spider-Man. How they do the Electro in this is so much better. Terrific.
Makes sense that he'd take that arc reactor. I did.
Yeah,
I hated the Stark box.
The Stark McGuffin box
that can solve any problem you have in the world. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Hey, I made a machine that can do anything you want it to do. Like, what?
What? Yeah. That's a serious plot contrivance. The plot box right there.
Yeah,
that's the plot box.
Yeah, you got to give the thing so many mulligans at that point. It's just like, okay.
But thankfully, after that, when they get all the Spider-Men together,
yes,
and they're in a lab actually working on everything, not using the box. They're actually having to be scientists, which is
right. But it's like Ned can do magic now.
Oh,
how long did it take Doctor Strange? How long did it take Stephen Strange?
Because you bring up a good point. Another weakness of this, because if you remember the first Doctor Strange film, when Strange is in training using the thing ring to do your thing, it shows how difficult it is to do it, and
Ned
he just
does it.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Why? They don't explain it. There's a throwaway line that he's like, "You can make portals," and Doctor Strange is like, "Oh." Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. And it's like except the character with Doctor. It's like he wouldn't have done this. Like I still feel like, and now they retcon the fact that he's not Sorcerer Supreme anymore.
It was Wong. Well,
Wong.
It's Wong because
he was gone.
Yeah. which
makes sense.
Yeah, because the blip. It's like
but it's like, why wouldn't Wong just then bequeath it back to Steven? It's like,
well, maybe he will in the next Doctor Strange film, which we got teased at the end, which looks amazing.
It does, but again, I'm hesitant in the fact that Marvel is trying to get rid of certain gender and color of people to then make way for other people. We're getting American Chavez.
Yeah, that's right. America Chavez
is in the movie. Yeah. Stephen Strange is going to be the evil person that we have to get rid of.
That's true. We do see an evil Doctor Strange. Yeah.
Another evil white guy. You gotta take him down. And I don't know yet. Easy pitchforks, but I'm cautiously optimistic for it. At the end, that was a nice little tag that they did, kind of like at the end of Captain America. They kind of had that trailer at the end of that, didn't they?
Yeah, something.
Yeah, something like that.
So, as a whole, all the Spider-Mans is films. Where does the Spidey-Mans rank?
That's tough, because this one has I've rewatched the first 3 Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, even the third one, 4 times that I can count.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
At this point, it's been 20 years. I'm going to be watching these.
They're just fun. True to the characters.
I don't think I've seen Andrew Garfield's more maybe twice. I think I've seen Amazing Spider-Man 2 twice, maybe. So
Second time on accident. Yeah.
where I'm putting this, I think I'm going to put obviously the first Spider-Man movie, 2002. That's number one. Nostalgia reasons. That's just it's gonna be hard to beat that. I think I'm going to put this above Spider-Man 2.
Oh,
I think it'll be my second favorite Spider-Man movie. Then Spider-Man 2, then Spider-Man 3, and then the Amazing Spider-Man movies, I think, are... I don't know. There's something else entirely. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is so bad. When we went to the theater and they were showing clips of the movie, all the movies, all the Spider-Man stuff related before, just the clip they showed us Amazing Spider-Man 2, I'm like...
Oh, yeah, in Times Square fighting Electro. Yeah.
Like, everything is wrong. On this, it's just a whiff. So those are my least two favorites. Yeah, this will be second.
So for me, I would say this is my third favorite Spider-Man film. I would say the original Spider-Man 2002, because to me that movie was amazing. It's still to this day, we're just rewatching that movie. It's amazing. That last fight scene between him and Goblin, he saves people on the bridge. Oh yeah.
In that final CGI swinging, like how much money and time they put into that.
Yeah. And Spider-Man 2, we'll have that as number 2. And I'll have this one, Spider-Man No Way Home. This will be my number 3.
Okay, so that's...
And this does have rewatchability. I honestly would not mind seeing this again at all.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, I wouldn't mind seeing this either. The other two, I only saw in the theater. And I never really cared to see them much.
And I remember walking out of the theater and thinking to myself, I really want to watch that Michael Keaton scene again. Repeat. If you haven't seen Homecoming in a long time, go to YouTube and put on the Michael Keaton scene where he's driving Peter and his daughter to the homecoming dance. And he's having his little his man-on-man talk. Man talk.
I mean, it's damn. It's when you hear him talk to him, it's like
kill you dead.
I absolutely love it. And then Far From Home. I mean, there's so much going on in that movie.
Too much.
And I like Mysterio. That's the thing. I love Mysterio. He's probably my favorite villain. But I just... He's relying so much on Tony Stark in those first two movies.
Yes.
So much Iron Man.
And I think that's one of the reasons why they made this hard change. I mean, this change that needed to happen because everyone kept calling him like Iron Boy, And
Iron
it's
Man
true.
Jr.
Yeah.
He gave him a suit. He literally gave him everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's the point of the character if he's going to have no growth? If he's given everything.
Yeah.
We finally see...
He's a Gary Sue.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. And what we finally... It's like, I wanted a better shot of that costume at the end of the movie.
Yes, it looks great, though.
It looks awesome, and I really wanted to see it. I was like, oh, you're not... It's like you're teasing it just enough.
Yeah.
And I wanted more of it.
Because at the end of this film, you see him, he had a sewing machine out, he had sewn together his costume, and he's swinging in this traditional bright red and blue.
Like Steve Ditko, JR, like old school. It's like, finally. So, and then we get the teaser at the end. We bring in, so all the villains are getting snapped back to their...
Yep. Oh, yeah, Venom.
Yeah, we get a little Venom.
Yeah, and there's literally a little Venom.
A little symbiote left back somehow. So we don't know what that lead to. I don't know.
But yeah, I highly recommend seeing this film. You will probably enjoy it. Shawn recommends it as well.
100% recommends it. I don't think he hated anything in the movie.
No.
Probably his favorite Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
We'll just say it's his favorite Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then I strongly recommend the movie.
So there you go. There you have it, guys. 3 for 3. Strongly recommend Spider-Man No Way Home. Yeah, that's very impressive.
For new Marvel, that's shocking.
Yes, it is. I know, right? Yeah, just all those whiffs and misses.
Yeah.
So there you have it, guys. What do you guys think? Did you guys see it? Do you like it? Did you hate it? Do you agree with what we said? Let us know in the comments, guys. And remember to buy what you like what you want, listen to the haters, and hit the notification bell down there somewhere, usually. And see you guys again next time.
My name is Giaris. I am the daughter of Cleomenes, king of Sparta. This is the first chapter in the story of my life. Be warned, this isn't a story for the faint of heart. Unlike most in your time, nothing was handed to me. My life was one forged with pain, punishment, and countless battles. When you read my story, you will see I truly was born of blood. Color this holiday season red with Born of Blood. Only on Kickstarter.